I have written a lovely song for all of the doctors who keep telling me that I have functional neurological disorder without actually scanning my brain. This is how it goes.
Read a book, read a book, read a book, fuck her. Couldn't tell the difference between your sister and your mother. Wouldn't know a woman if you even tried to fuck her. Ha 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 ha! What do you say? So read a book, read a book, read a book, fuck her. Couldn't tell the difference between your sister and your mother. When you meet a woman, you always try to fuck her. Why don't you scan my brain? Why don't you scan my brain? Yeah, 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 yeah. Nah. If you don't read books, you won't know what I'm trying to say. If you don't read the research, what are you coming from? Hey, if you don't even understand it's neuroscience, then what are we fucking doing? Because I really, really, really need to go. There's a growth in my brain, I think it's driving me insane. There's a growth in my brain, I think it's driving me insane. So I say, read a book, read a book, read a book, fuck her. Wouldn't know the research if I try to fuck you. Why? Don't read books, don't try to understand what I will say. If you don't read the books, where are you coming from, mate? If you don't even understand neuroscience, what are we doing here? Because it does say 33% of people might have epileptic conditions that you're gonna write off as some kind of stress, but you haven't even done the fucking tests. So read. They said I'm just stressed. I don't think I'm just stressed. I think that this pineal cyst, whatever the fuck it is doing something. Because the problems started when the pineal cyst was identified. There was a higher increase of adrenaline. There was issues with my sleep and disturbance. There was issues with my melatonin. There was issues with my prolactin. I'm trying to remember all of these different things. So it's like, if Hong Kong has already done all of these tests and they've identified that there's a pineal cyst and they've requested urgent neurological management of the pineal cyst, how have you come to the conclusion that it's a functional neurological disorder if 30-something% of people who have pineal cysts have epilepsy, and you've never screened me for epilepsy? It doesn't make sense. And then you're trying to tell me that I'm mentally stable. I don't think I'm very mentally stable right now. I feel very stressed because no one has tested me for epilepsy, and there's basically a 1 in 3 chance that I have it. It's on the fucking documents, dudes. Like, what are you trying to do? Try and tell me I have antisocial personality disorder. Try and tell me I've got stress disorder. I don't feel like I'm very stressed because I'm dealing with this bullshit. They also have not intersected, like, you know that people who have profound giftedness have, like, asynchronous development. We have all of the fucking tests. Like, I don't understand. I'm just like... Or I do understand. I should stop saying that I don't understand, because I do understand, and I do understand that the first thing you should have done was given me an MRI, checked how big the pineal cyst was, and actually diagnosed me whatever I have, because you can't diagnose functional neurological disorder without screening for epilepsy first. And epilepsy has not been screened for except from a CT scan. But the CT scan is only going to show like the ventricle. Okay, I don't know, because I'm not a qualified neuroscientist, but I know a decent amount enough about neuroscience to understand that, like, if smart people have epilepsy, like if someone who is gifted or profoundly gifted or whatever the fuck thing I am, because I don't know, because if this pineal cyst is happening, then perhaps that's called, I don't know. How have they come, I don't understand how they've come to the conclusion. Functional neurological disorder. They've come, well, I do understand how they've come to the conclusion of this. They've come to the conclusion of it because they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to spend the money to scan my brain to see how big the pineal cyst is. Now, the pineal cyst in 2022 was 11 millimeters. And at that point, it was causing headaches. It was causing issues within different hormones. I started having like hyperprolactinemia that's been recorded. That's all on the fucking record that we gave to them. And why are they expecting me, as someone who has a cyst in my brain, to be able to manage all of this at home? If they haven't screened for epilepsy, they've ignored the recommendation of the team in Hong Kong for 2 years, and they haven't given me an EEG. They don't know that it's not epilepsy. They say I have a stress condition, but they're causing the stress. I feel completely insane. I feel completely insane. I feel like I am losing my mind. And I don't even know if I am losing my mind, because no one will do a follow-up brain scan. But I have a brain scan from 2022 that shows I have an 11 millimeter pineal cyst. But I seem to be able to, like, I don't understand. I seem to be able to manage all of these symptoms by myself, by playing music and listening to sound. But then the biggest symptom is I keep forgetting everything and getting confused. But I also have had multiple concussions, potentially because I have epilepsy and I hit my head. Like, how do they know? How do they know I don't have epilepsy? How do they know I don't have epilepsy? How do I know I don't have epilepsy? I feel insane. I feel insane. And on top of it, they've identified, like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I've been diagnosed with autism. I've been diagnosed with ADHD. I've been diagnosed with EDS. I've been diagnosed with all the other MCAS and stuff. But, like, no one's looking at this pineal cyst. Like, maybe I don't have any of those conditions, and I just have a pineal cyst. What is going on? They said I can manage at home. I don't feel like I can manage at home. I feel like I'm having seizures that are causing me to leave my... And also, isn't the pineal gland the one that's associated with endogenous DMT? Is this cyst, like, causing me to create DMT and have these out-of-body experiences and have this, like, white light tunnel experience? Is this what this is all about? Is this not even autism? Is this just there's a pineal cyst that keeps flooding my brain with DMT, which is why I have psychedelic experiences without any psychedelics? Like, because they've said I'm not bipolar, they've said I don't have schizophrenia, they said I don't have all these different things, but I'm like, how do you know? You don't know. Scan my brain. I have a pineal cyst. That's the only thing we do know, is I have a pineal cyst. It's 11 millimeters as of 2022. You've no idea how big it is. And you've come to the conclusion of functional neurological disorder. But, like, I'm not functioning, one, and you haven't actually done any fucking science, or read any of the research, or read any books, or scanned. Like, how do you know? If I didn't have this pineal cyst, Would I be displaying the symptoms of autism and ADHD? You don't know. You've prescribed me with Ritalin and famotidine and hydroxyzine and all these different things. If I do have MCAS, which I believe I do because I've been told I have MCAS by a really good medical team in Hong Kong, then what are the effects of neuroinflammation and like inflammation on the brain to this pineal cyst? If it's inflamed, does it produce more DMT? The only thing that seems to help is the antihistamines. The Ritalin is helpful, but is the Ritalin even helpful? I don't know. Does my brain produce DMT, and is it getting affected by this pineal cyst? Is the pineal cyst pushing out DMT, and that's why I'm having out-of-body experiences and seeing all this crazy shit? Like, why is no one doing research into this in Edinburgh? Why is no one doing research into this in Edinburgh? I do not know. Why are they writing me off as having functional neurological disorder when I've talked to people that have functional neurological disorder, and everyone with functional neurological disorder who cares about what I'm going through is like, I don't think you've got functional neurological disorder. You sound like you have temporal lobe epilepsy. Why do they not trust the people who experience functional neurological disorder? I don't know. Why do the people who have pineal cysts have the same symptoms as me, and 30-something% of them have epilepsy? Why do they keep basing my ability to function on my presentation when I've been diagnosed? If I even have, like, how can they diagnose me with autism? How can they diagnose me with autism if they haven't scanned my brain? Because when they scanned my brain in Hong Kong, they came to the conclusion of ADHD and autism, but every time a new piece of information comes out, they have to go through the diagnostic process again. And they also were like, based on the research that we currently have available, you are autistic. But if I didn't have this pineal cyst, would I be autistic? No one fucking knows! Ugh! This is really ridiculous. I shouldn't be in a situation where I have to be my neurologist and my neuroscientist and my psychologist. Like, I'm not. I also, like, I'm over exaggerating that I do have a psychologist, I have a neuropsychiatrist. I do, like, talk to them. But why am I having to argue with the hospital? Why am I having to argue with the hospital and be like, I'm not very well, I'm a danger to myself and to other people, I can't control my emotions, I get really angry, I get really scared, I'm passing out, my blood pressure's really low, my heart rate's really high. They said I can look after myself, and they said that I can function and do all of these things, but I need more carers. But, like, I functioned fine. I functioned fine before. Like, how does a diagnosis get changed to high functioning autism to autism with high support needs and all of these different things when the thing that has changed is the pineal cyst? Could it be that they're all wrong and the original diagnosis of high functioning autism with low support needs is correct, but I've had a pineal cyst and the pineal cyst has impacted my functional abilities? Why do I have such a terrible reaction to antipsychotics? Why do I have such a terrible reaction? Like, if I am psychotic, why do I have such a like, they said I don't have schizophrenia, they said I don't have bipolar, I don't have all of this, I have some kind of unknown neurological disorder, which is whatever, and they think it's functional neurological disorder. I have the scans, they have my scans on record, they already have the I paid for this MRI myself. I paid for 2 MRIs. I have an MRI that I paid for in Hong Kong, which shows my brain. I have an MRI that I paid for in Hong Kong that shows my brainstem and, like, this area. Like, I feel like I'm arguing with people who aren't looking at the scans that I have paid for out of my own money. And they haven't even looked at the scans. And they're telling me they're not going to give me another scan. They're telling me I need to have all these therapies based on functional neurological disorder, and the people who have functional neurological disorder keep saying to me they do not think I have functional neurological disorder because they don't share the same symptoms as me. They don't even know what functional neurological disorder is. So if they don't know what functional neurological disorder is and they haven't accurately diagnosed me with it, how do they know that it's not an issue with this pineal cyst? I am driving myself insane because no one knows. And I've been told that I don't have epilepsy. But the research shows there's a 30-something, I think it's 33%, I might be wrong. I they did a psychiatric evaluation and said that I'm not crazy and I'm able to look after myself. I can't even remember where my I have to put my medication in the same place because I'll lose my medication, I lose my keys. And I feel like I'm losing my mind and I keep having seizures. Like, this is so ridiculous. And then I'm constantly distracted by everything. I used to work in tech. I used to spend a lot of time on the computer. I didn't have these problems. The pineal cyst came in 2022. We searched because we thought it could be something to do with a cerebral spinal fluid leak, or it could be due with a brainstem, or all of these other issues that are associated with EDS. It was ruled out that it wasn't that. The pineal cyst was ruled to be something that shouldn't be causing problems. They thought I might have hyperprolactinemia, and I did have hyperprolactinemia. I don't know what I have at the moment. How come the Hong Kong medical team can treat me and tell me what I need, and the NHS medical team in Edinburgh are happy to make a diagnosis based on inaccurate information? Oh God, this is fucking stupid. And then why, when I go to the hospital, is it bright and loud and I have more episodes and they tell me that I'm just stressed? Like, I feel... Why are they giving me male doctors? Why are they giving me male doctors that talk loudly to me and tell me that I'm antisocial? I'm not antisocial. I'm very fucking social. I don't think I have antisocial personality disorder. The female doctor doesn't even think I have antisocial personality disorder. So why is the male doctor telling me that I'm antisocial and I'm going to end up in a cell? What cell? Put me in. If the cell is going to stop me from having seizures, put me in the cell, handcuff me, I'll go to the cell tomorrow. Like... I'm worried I'm going to hurt myself. Not intentionally. I don't want to kill myself, but like, I have these seizures and I hit my head. I have these seizures and I wake up in a pool of blood because my nose starts bleeding uncontrollably. I have these seizures and my entire body stops being able to look after itself. And I can see everything because I am floating above my body, hallucinating in these seizures. Like, it's like acquiring temporary schizophrenia. When I have a seizure, I float above my body and I see my body and I see all these patterns and shapes and like really ridiculous. I'm talking like, I had an episode where I saw the vortex of what I can only imagine to be the rapture. Like shards, like imagine this whole thing. Shards of glass and fractals of all these different timelines that we are all going on. And these children who I can only assume are Palestinian children because they were bright white little angels that were all screaming, fight him, fight him, fight him, fight him, and trying to give me hugs, telling me to fight and swim back into my body. I was swimming. I was like, I can't even describe it. Like, this is, I know I sound insane. I've just been screened as sane. So I feel insane and I'm worried that I might have schizophrenia, but like, apparently I don't. and I shouldn't. I've been put on every single antipsychotic medication known to man at this point, and it makes me bleed from my eyes and have seizures. So I swim like it's so weird. I'm like a floating astral figure, and I swim like this back into my body, and my body is like protected. And like every time I have these episodes, my subconscious, like I'm like this lady, and this sounds mental, this lady who is called Sophia or Semjen or whatever her name is, but she keeps saying Sophia, 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 Sophia. And I'm like, why is she called Sophia? Is she called Sophia because my friend growing up is called Sophia? Is she called Sophia because of the Hagia Sophia, which is a place in Turkey I went to? Is she called Sophia because of Sophia, the divine wisdom of goddess? I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced that what this is. I presume it is my mind using the information that's present to construct some kind of story, because I score extremely high in abstract reasoning and story making and all that fucking bullshit stuff. I think that it is projecting a story to protect me from reality. And I think that I swim back into my body because I like swimming, because I love water, and I'm swimming back into my body, and the goddess Sophia, I know this sounds insane, I promise, like, I'm just trying to, the goddess Sophia grabs my swimming body, my real body's here, and my other body's here, and I'm swimming to get back into my real body. And then when I'm in my real body, the white Sophia lady comes and magics my body. I fully understand this sounds insane. Like, I feel insane. So I like understand this is a seizure or whatever it is, and it's potentially temporal lobe epilepsy, because people who have temporal lobe epilepsy have all these kind of like religious experiences, whatever. I don't know, I need more testing. I need to screen for temporal lobe epilepsy, because if it is temporal lobe epilepsy, it all makes sense. If it's not temporal lobe epilepsy, then what the fuck is going on? I swim back into my body, and I'm like swimming and swimming and swimming. I look so funny. I just realised I'm in a Juicy Couture tracksuit. That's pretty psychedelic, talking about, is my brain creating endogenous DMT because I have a pineal cyst, and is it projecting some kind of weird reality that makes me really, really good at writing music and being creative? And is it autism or is it not autism? I don't know. But I swim back into my body, and the goddess Sophia is like, I fixed it for you. And then, this is the crazy shit. So after like pools of blood, like eating myself, my body reacts like I had a seizure or whatever it is, and I grabbed this duvet and wrapped it around me. My body, like, I was up here and my body here did this. I was kicking and feeling, it felt like I was coughing, but my limbs were kicking into things. And I managed to wrap, this is fucking wild, okay? I managed to wrap the duvet that was on the bed. My dad's room, this big duvet, I managed to wrap it around myself whilst kicking. Like, I have a bruise. Ugh. I can't really see it, it's kind of gone, it's a bit yucky, you can kind of see it a bit. I kicked this like door bit here and kept kicking it and kicking and kicking it, but I managed to grab the duvet and wrap it around me. Call an ambulance. I can't remember how I called my ambulance and how I called my dad. I must have been conscious enough to do that. I have the text messages. How did I do that? I was swimming above my body. I was swimming above my body, like flying back into my body, whilst all of these children were shouting, fight him, fight him, fight them, fight him, fight them, fight him, fight them. And then, like, they're all talking about the feathered serpent and this big serpent energy that's going to come back. And there's some kind of class rapture. And they're talking about, like, the end of days. And Sophia is coming to put me back into my body. And by the time the paramedics arrive, my heart rate's normal. I have 99% blood oxygen. My pulse rate is normal. And I'm medically fine and I don't need to go to hospital. But then my period blood just comes. And I'm bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. But my period is like 10 or 20 days early. I don't know how early it is. And I'm covered in blood. Or my nose starts bleeding. Or my mouth starts bleeding. Or my eyes start bleeding. And there's just blood coming from me. And my heart goes from beating like 150, 200, 200 plus like beats per minute down to like 70. And people say, oh, it's POTS. It's because I have EDS. It's postural orthostatic hypertension. But that means that then my blood has not reached, my brain is being deprived of oxygen. But then I'm fine. I'm just looking at the timer that's there. And then I have another episode. Where I have a sensory overload or panic because I'm in the hospital and the lights are too bright and the sounds are too loud. Sorry, there was a Shein notification because I buy too much stuff on Shein and I love it because I like the clothes. And then there's a serpent. It looks like Quetzalcoatl. And I love Quetzalcoatl because I'm born on the same day as Quetzalcoatl, so I have a connection to that. You know, I have a feather tattoo because I love Quetzalcoatl. And that's my tattoo because Quetzalcoatl is my, like, I always have these, like, weird experiences, which I now know are probably seizures with Quetzalcoatl, and Quetzalcoatl tells me what to do with my life, and I just do that and it becomes easier. It's my little feather. He says, nevermore, and it's my little feather. And it reminds me that I'm never going to be in an abusive relationship again. It's never going to happen again, and I don't want anyone else to be abused. Anyway, side note, bullshit. Why do I keep having these experiences? Why is there a giant snake dragon Quetzalcoatl god made out of the numbers 3691, like 1369, 1369, 93, like all of these numbers, 1369, 1369, 1369. Like, why? Because it's 13, it's 96, it's 69, it's 1996, because I'm born in 1996. What is so special? Why is the number 9 and the number 6 and the number 3 and the number 1 appearing so many times? Why does 3, 333, 333, 333, 333, 333, 333, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Why does that keep appearing? Why is that connected to a Mesoamerican? Why is 13 so important? What's the power of 13? Why is 13 so important? Why is 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13? Why is this happening? 13, 333, 333, 333, 666, 666, 999, 999, 666, 666, 999. What is going on? 999, 666. Why does 666 show and it's like the devil number and then it goes upside down and turns into 999? And why does it spin? Why does 111, 111, 111, 333, 666, 999, 111, 333, like, is it my life path number? Is it just the fact that I'm born in 1996 on March? Like, my life path number is 3 on the 20th of March, 1996. Is it 3? Is it that simple? And it's 1996, 1369. One, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Is it a 3 times table? Is it just that simple? Is it just the 3 times table? 1, 3, 6, 9. 12 also appears. 1, 2. If I put 2, 0 also appears. Is it just 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. That's the 3 times table. And the 3 times table is my birthday is 20th. So that's 2. Obviously, you put the 12 and the 0, you get the 2. The 3 is the 3. 1996 is 1996. Is it just that? And my brain is going, oh, you're associated to Quetzalcoatl, and all of these numbers are connected, and it's 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm in a 12-step program. 12 is a really important number for us. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Why, when I'm having these seizures, is the Mesoamerican deity Quetzalcoatl talking to me to tell me these weird things? Is it just because I went to Mesoamerica when I was really, really young? My dad and my brother almost killed on a lightning strike at the temple of Kukulkan, which is Quetzalcoatl, and that has like permanently, scarred me because my brother and my dad have got PTSD from that experience. Is it because the 20th of March is the day of Quetzalcoatl coming back to Earth and I'm born at 613? Fuck, 613. Like, what? Like, if there's anyone out there who understands numerology, please tell me what this means. Why is the 3 times table so important? To me, to my life. Like, 20th of March, 1996, born at 6:13 in the morning at Hemel Hempstead Hospital. Is there some weird astrological thing? I feel completely insane. I feel like I am bipolar, or I am schizophrenic, or I have some kind of severe psychotic illness, but I've been treated for all of the severe psychotic illnesses and I do not have them. The medication doesn't work. The only medication that's ever worked for me is Ritalin, in terms of the psychiatric medications. I need to take antihistamines or else I have seizures. My antihistamines are famotidine and hydroxyzine. I take Chinese medicine. I do everything weird. Why does my mum, who is used to be a research scientist for one of the top research laboratories in the UK, why does she keep telling me I'm an alien? But she's psychotic, so I can't believe her. I'm pretty sure this is psychosis. I'm pretty sure I'm psychotic. I'm pretty sure that, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not psychotic. Maybe I'm just obsessed with numbers and I have autism. I mean, I do remember really, really long strings of numbers. If anyone has an opinion on this, please let me know, because I keep going to the hospital and begging them for me to be put in inpatient, and they keep telling me I'm not crazy, and I feel completely fucking insane. But I don't know, because maybe it's just this pineal cyst. Maybe I just have a neurological issue. I've lost everything, and I'm fed up. I'm so fed up.